Excuse me, everyone, but I believe it's been a long time since I reviewed a Nintendo cartoon, and I must say, excuse me for for taking a long time to do it. I do want to apologize. I actually have not reviewed a Nintendo or a video game cartoon in general, because Nintendo is not the only one that made cartoons. I have not reviewed any cartoon show in a long time. And the one I reviewed was the Mario Brothers 3 show. You guys can check out that if you guys want. It's a bit outdated because back then I was still recording stuff with my phone on the TV instead of using, like capturing the stuff. So, yeah, it's a bit outdated, but I still think I did a pretty good job with the review. But I did that mainly because the voice actor who voiced Mario passed away that year, and I've been kind of reviewing other shows, but I only feel like it's fair to come back to this show and talk about this show because, like Mario, a lot of people talk about the Legend of Zelda and its games, and then you have its cartoon. So, yeah, but, if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and I cannot believe it's been, like, since 2021, I believe, is when I last reviewed a cartoon show that was based off of a game. So it's been a long time. I mean, I had that movie I reviewed of a video game, but that was different. Actually, I reviewed a couple different video game movies. I reviewed Angry Birds, and then I reviewed Mario, but I have not really tackled any other shows. Yeah. So let's sit back and let's go back to 1989 when this show came out. So if you guys don't know that this show was, I don't know, I didn't grow up in the 80s, and this clearly is, 1989, but I didn't grow up in the 80s. But I do know that, I've seen a lot of previews of this and all that, I watched, Mario and all that, and on, streaming and all that, and they had, the live action segments. This is, I think the original Mario show. I could be wrong, there could be another one before it, but I think this is the original Mario show. There was a movie that came out that was released, I think, only in Japan. There's actually English version, English version of the dub, too. So you guys can watch it, in English version, but yeah, in Japan they made a Mario movie and all that. But I think they only started making a Mario cartoon and all that when the second one came out. But the second Mario game came out, which at that time, to be honest, if you want to be kind of fair here, technically, I kind of understand, with the Mario show and all that, they were kind of limited to what they could do. This show was kind of fell on the same, problem. They were kind of limited to what they could do because, they could only go off of a few games. I don't know how many games were released when this show came out, but I do know both it and Mario, suffer from that. But just like the Mario show, I will tackle it down the road. I'll be tackling it in probably a seasonal review in the future. Only because the episodes in that show are kind of all over the place, in my opinion, and I feel like it's kind of hard to grade it. But I will say that it has some problems. This show honestly has a lot of problems with it. A lot of problems with this show. I gotta say, there's a lot of problems with it. Basically, I will talk about that in a second, in the show itself, but I will say that apparently it had a thing for airing on Fridays. They would release the original Mario show during the weekdays, Monday through Thursday, and then Fridays they would release this show, it would air. They even promoted it, like I said, in the Mario show and all that, in their live action segments. Because for some reason they had live action and animated segments. And honestly, I thought they were only available on streaming or they were very hard. But apparently, you can, if you get certain DVDs, you can access almost all the episodes. I hear you can't access all of them right now, but you can access most of the episodes with the live action segments in there too. So that's pretty cool. But they do promote this a lot, and it is kind of, again, it's kind of, annoying, like that they, have that, like certain DVDs have that and all that, and certain ones don't. But yeah, for some reason I had a thing of this show airing on Fridays and all that. I don't know what they had on the weekends, who knows what they had on the weekends, Considered kids would be off school then, because I'm sure school is kind of the same way it is now it was back then, Kids would go to school during the weekdays and be off during the weekends. So yeah, but yeah, this show though, like I said, this show definitely has a lot of problems with it. I feel like it's only fair I should get the good things out of the way first. I will say the action in this show is really good. Like, it is really good. And I do think the show is well animated. Like, I think it's well animated. There was problems with the Mario shows where I felt like they were not animated very well. Like, I mean, even like the Super Mario World show, I had a problem with like I haven't not tackled that show yet. I thought about tackling it next, but I was like, I want to review this show first because I feel like I want to review different shows. But the animation's kind of not very clean and all that on it. It looks kind of, I don't know. I mean, it looks more finished and all that, but it doesn't look as good as the Mario, like, Brothers 3, show, but I don't know. But this show does look very good. It's animated really well. I do like it. And all that. And I will say, I do like Ganon. Ganon as a villain. Yeah, Ganon's in this, show, because, he's the villain. No, he's actually not the villain in every, Zelda game. I think in Majora's Mask, he doesn't even appear in the game. I could be wrong. I'm not really familiar with the Zelda games at all. I know them because people have talked about them, and I do know, I've seen a little bit of, like Wind Waker, and I've seen a little, like, because my dad would play Wind Waker, and my dad would play him, he played a lot of Breath of the Wild, so I've seen some stuff with that, but the one I'm mostly familiar with is Majora's Mask. That's the one I'm mostly familiar with. That's the one I think I watched someone completely finish that game. Well, actually, take that back. I think I didn't watch him finish it. I watched a lot of, like, my stepdad, with like in Hannibal and all that, Andy, who's no longer, my mom's dad. I need to stop. I mean, my mom's, husband. I need to stop repeating myself there, but I feel like I should clarify because she's been with a few different boyfriends. But she actually did marry him, so he was my official stepdad. But basically, he played a lot of Majora's Mask and all that. But I don't know if I ever watched him, finish. Well, I think I watched him finish it. Yeah, I watched him finish the final fight, but I don't know. I mean, actually, take that back. I think maybe I did watch a Let's Player like Messiah, like, or someone do that. Messiah is actually a pretty good YouTuber. You should check her out. Unfortunately, she hasn't played a whole lot of, like, Zelda or Mario games, but she's played a few. But yeah, I think it might have been her I watched. I can't remember. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I do know that, like, I do know that game very well. But the thing is, though, I'm not very familiar with again, the franchise as a whole. So I don't know all the enemies very well and all that. I do know some of them, like, appear in, like, Mario games and all that. So there's that, like, because I think the same person that owns Mario, owns, Zelda. Because they don't have as much references as Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is, like, always in Mario. Heck, he has his own games, and he's in Mario too. Link's made appearances like this DLC, and I think in the Wii U Mario Kart game and all. I think he's in the Switch version too. I haven't played the Switch Mario Kart game, but I think he's in there too and all that. So, he's playable and all that, but they don't really have as many. I mean, they have, like, Easter eggs and all here and there, but they're not as, like, as open as Donkey Kong. So, because Nintendo makes references to a lot of games, I think, all the time. like Mario Galaxy has a few references. Like there's actually the Pigman ship in the Space Junk Galaxy, and then there's like the Pokemon ball and all that, and like Dreadnought or not Dreadnought. I mean, what was it called? Buoy Base, yeah, Buoy Base Galaxy. So clearly, they have like references there. But yeah, this show is actually, I think, owned by Miyamoto, who's created Mario too. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, basically, yeah, there. But yeah, I do. I'm not very familiar with it, but I do know a lot about it. And I mean, I've seen the show and all that, and I actually rewatched a lot of the episodes. I didn't watch all of them because I do want to get into kind of the big problem I have with this show. But I want to say, yeah, I will say I definitely do like Ganon. I do think Ganon's a pretty good, cool character. I hear people saying there's like 2 different versions of him. Like, apparently they're actually 2 separate characters or something. Like, some people are saying he got mutated and all that and turned into a warthog or something, but I don't know. But I do think he's kind of a cool villain. He's very threatening. I do think he's kind of a knockoff of Bowser from like the Mario cartoon. But I mean, because he's very he gets very angry and very hostile to his he gets hostile to his minions and all that, and then not only that, but he also has there's like one episode where he actually tries to marry Princess Zelda. So there's a lot of things. I mean, because they even have that in the Mario show too. Now I don't know if Ganon is actually, they still have romantic interest in Zelda or not, but I do know they had an episode like that in the show. I know King Koopa because I played a lot of Mario, aka Bowser, because he's known as Bowser. He does marry, he tries to marry, Princess Toadstool, aka Peach, in the cartoon show and all that, and all that as well, so they basically do kind of have back and forth stuff like that. But the thing is, though, unlike, like Koopa, at least, like Ganon's actually a lot more smarter than Koopa. Koopa's, well, he's not very, he's not, super dumb, but he does kind of take credit for a lot of things, and all that, or his minions are trying to, warn him about something and he won't listen, so I mean, there's stuff like that, but I don't care if it's really, I mean, I'm glad they, at least, it's similarities, but it's not a total rip-off and all that, so I kind of at least like that. But now I gotta talk about the gripes at this show and why this show honestly kind of pisses me off. So, you have this typical guy, Link, the savior and hero of whatever lands they're in, I forget, or Hyrule is what it is, Hyrule. Well, apparently they turn him into a complete freaking sex pervert. I'm not even kidding, they turn him into a sex pervert, he's always trying to get a kiss from Zelda, and he mentions it quite throughout the entire show. I'm rolling my eyes and all of that, and he's just freaking at one point he jumps in the bed and tries to kiss Zelda he's a freaking maniac and pervert. I want to clarify too, this is our hero. This is our hero here, and he's doing this. Now I know they have perverts and all that on TV all the time. Those are common, but I thought they go way too overboard here. And he doesn't really learn anything, and the joke kind of gets old after a while. And I do think they do, again, go overboard by having him trying to kiss her and all that. And I mean, I get that, they do this a lot in cartoons. They'll have characters, kind of try to are kind of creepy around, their love interest and all, but they're usually not this bad. They go way too far with him here, and not to mention he's also freaking very whiny too. I freaking hate how whiny he is. In the very first episode, he's basically bitching and moaning about what like missing going out, like he wants to like go out like and he's and like fight monsters and all, and he's tired of like having to guard the Triforce and all that. I'm like, dude, if you have a problem with that, then go do that then. I'm sure Zelda can find another hero and all that, But of course he wants to get with freaking Zelda, so yeah, it kind of becomes problematic. And speaking of Zelda, Zelda's freaking like just as bad. Well, she's not like a sex pervert like Link is, but she's freaking a total bitch, to Link. Like a lot of times, like Zelda will bitch at Link for screwing something up or something like that, and I'm like, he's trying his best here and all that, and at one point, like there's one episode where she freaking literally ditches him in the middle of nowhere on a horse, because this one guy, like is on his horse and offers her a ride, and she just fucking ditches Link there. I mean, I know there's like only two, like, I mean, there's only two people who can go on a horse, but still, I mean, she just fucking ditched her hero there. And then, like, I think he walks away and all that, like, because, she likes this guy and all that. I'm like, good, let him walk away, I mean, yeah, he's a sex pervert, but she fucking, freaking, ditched him in the middle of nowhere and all that. Like, I mean, I can kind of get why that is and all that. And I gotta say, they do have a love relationship together, but it's freaking cringe as hell. It's almost up there with the Velma show. That's how bad their love thing is. Like, unlike Velma, at least they they're at least showing that they actually do kind of like each other. They're hinting at it better. Where Velma, they kind of just throw it all over the place. They just throw things at the wall and figure out what sticks. They at least do something here, which I do like, but I just hate how like bad they are. Like I hate how I hate how Zelda is a likable character who bitches at Link and all that for messing things up, and then Link's just a sex pervert and all that. He's always whining and not wanting to do shit and all that, making him a lousy hero. Which again, these are two people we're supposed to root for. And somehow I'm freaking liking Ganon, the villain, more. Yes, the villain of the series. I like him. Like, whenever he's on screen, that's when I like it. But, but that's the thing, though. It's just kind of annoying, It's just annoying having to deal with this, Like you're trying to watch a show and all that. I want to see action and see these characters from the video game, come to life. They do this to them. It's just frustrating. Apparently, Link doesn't really talk a lot in the games like Mario, which I don't understand why. I notice that's kind of that. I think that right there kind of shows you that right there shows you like the Minimoto thing, and shows you that he made the game, because you can see some similarities with some stuff. That's probably why, like, again, Ganon, is similar and all that. Like, I don't know if he was part of the reason, if he's part of the reason, why they, like, why they, I mean, if they made this show or not. I don't know if he was involved a lot in it, or they had someone else work on it, but yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's just frustrating there. And I'm gonna say the stories are kind of just, they're just like, I mean, some of them are alright and passable to watch. Like, there's one episode where, like, Link will turn, there's one episode where Link will turn into a frog and all that, and he has to get cured and all that. And there's another one where, like, Link becomes invisible and all that. Those two kind of stick out to me and all that. They're also, funny enough, on, like, some of the Mario DVDs I have. Like, you can buy the complete sets of these Mario DVDs, but you can also get them on, like, get them separate. And I noticed they have these episodes included in there. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they're not too bad episodes, but a lot of them kind of are. But there is, like, one, two, or like Ganon, enters enters like I don't know what they're doing. I'm not sure what Zelda's doing. She's like in this throne, like the throne outside, like watching people I guess perform for her or something. I don't know what that is. I think that's it might be a medieval thing, they did back in the day. I'm not sure what it is, but Ganon shows up and all that, and I think it's kind of interesting, but yeah, a lot of the episodes are not that great. They're just, I mean, to be fair, there's only 13 episodes, so 13 episodes is not a lot. But I actually do remember a lot of these episodes really well too. So like, I remember the episode where which is the last one that aired, where Ganon, like gets trapped by his minions, and then they take over and all that. That episode was kind of just whatever. I don't know. It was cool to see the minions, stand up. That was something different we didn't see in the actual, Mario show. But my biggest problem is that a lot of the episodes are not like that great, and I think a lot of it doesn't help. Like, it's not just the Zelda and Link that are the problem. It's also the fact that the episodes are very short too. Like, they're only 11 minutes long. So they feel very rushed. Like, this is a kind of show I would feel like would have had, 22-minute long episodes. Like, have a double Link episodes. But instead, they're they're like 11-minute episodes. But, I don't know, I'm just I'm just kind of I think this show just has a lot of problems with it. I really do. And I mean, the thing is, it could have been good, but I have to say, this show is definitely getting a bad and 21 points for me. And sorry if there's no sound effect. I was gonna do this, because I have an appointment in the morning. I was gonna do that. Well, technically, it is the morning now, but I couldn't sleep very well. I hate when this happens to me, where you're trying to go to sleep, but you can't, your body, your mind's awake, but your body's tired, I hate when that happens. It happens to me all the time, and I should have taken my sleep medication, but the thing is, though, too, is, it's very strong, and getting up in the morning would be very hard, because I need to get up at 5 o'clock so I can get some stuff done, because I'm going to be getting a haircut, too, and with it being hot out, I wanted to kind of brush my hair and get it washed, because I'm going to get myself a nice haircut. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but like I said, too, is, I'm gonna try to get the score thing figured out, but I couldn't find my Nintendo 2DS anywhere and all. That's where my sound effects are, at, so I don't know where it's at. But yeah, this show, though, I think it could have been a lot better if it were, if they wrote, Link and Zelda as better characters. And then they also, the episodes were not 11 minutes, they were actually 22 minutes. That would make the show a lot better. A whole lot better. So, yeah. But basically, though, yeah, I don't know, basically, I think the show is still, this show, I mean, I can see maybe why some people might like it, because, there are people that like it because of the action and all that, but yeah, I just think it's not for me. I think, like I said, Zelda, I mean, even at the 11-minute, mark, I think it wouldn't be as bad. I still probably would give it a meh, if it weren't for the fact that Zelda and Link are in here, but they kind of ruined the show for me a little bit. I mean, there are some episodes I can watch, but not a lot. Not a lot. But yeah, I don't know. But one more thing I do want to say before I let this video go is, I will say I do kind of like Sprite, the little fairy gal. I do think she's kind of funny. She actually does have a crush on Link, so she gets jealous of Zelda. She's jealous of Zelda, which is really funny. Also, apparently, her father looks like Zelda's dad, which is really weird too. In fairy form. I don't know why that is. But yeah, I remember that. Like that was really weird and all that. But yeah, it was weird. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I do like one moment where she like went into the shower. Like I mean into like I mean not the shower, the spot where Link was taking a bath and she was like talking about how handsome he was. That was actually funny, but it gave me a chuckle. But otherwise, yeah, this show is not really that great. But like I said, I don't think it's the worst show I've ever seen, but I don't think it's great either. I think it definitely is compared to other like shows I've seen in the past. This one's definitely not that like as good, but we'll have to see how other video game shows turn out. But anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and let things go from here. See you all next time. And remember, guys, to stay far away from Link as possible if you can. Otherwise, he might sneak up on you while you're sleeping. Anywho, bye.